This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
I hate it when I leave my broom back there. It always annoys me. I put the cat boxes over there so you can see the cats. I did not mean to leave the broom over there. But you can clearly see that I've swept my floor. I keep a clean apartment. Welcome to the Troll Patrol Live! Are you talking about Anna Kasparian? Because I just saw that she tweeted something about that the Venezuelan gangs in the apartment complex. I'm like, that's bullshit. The fuck? Mata Ursa, Thread, Snicks, Flash, Warlord, good evening. What that news be doing? Princess Kimberly, good afternoon to you. It's not real. Why? Why is everybody insisting that it is real? It's a made up fucking story. Clinically. She absolutely is, isn't she? She's been such a fucking disappointment. I think so many leftists had a crush on her, what, 15 years ago now? Maybe not 15 years ago. Cenk would have still been on MSNBC. Maybe, I don't know. I fucking greeted you! What the fuck is your deal? Oh my god, you're so fucking needy! I literally said your fucking name! Damn, did it start that long ago? Fuck. Matter Ursa, good evening. Welcome in. So glad to have you here tonight. Okay, so it was a you issue, not a me issue. Ducky, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I was saying it made her, and that's wrong. I heard Chainsaw say it, and Chainsaw said it correctly, cause it's some Greek god or some shit. I do think about what the chatters are doing. I try to take the chatters into consideration when putting together the show. I do this show for you guys. I don't want to watch Donald Trump take questions tonight. It's you guys. That's why we're going to watch Donald Trump take questions tonight. Oh shit, did I reset my drops, or is one going to pop up on me? Oh. Good advice. Remember, kids. Shoot up drugs. Not like the kid who is now facing at least 4 murder counts. Father had been arrested in like the last hour. DJ Dub, good evening. We're going to break down all the latest info on the school shooting that happened yesterday. We'll have the second part of the Trump town hall at 9 o'clock tonight on Sean Hannity. Lana Del Rey has been spotted with her new boyfriend, former Yellow Emperor of 200 BC, ancient China. Former Yellow Emperor of 200 BC, ancient China, Qin Shi Huang. Apparently Hong's family found out about him dating Lana Del Rey from this picture. And his now ex-wife is threatening him in the group chat. he young? Mindy, good evening. Goddamn, I'm joked up.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Torchy, good evening. Oh, Flash, I thought you were talking about Lana Del Rey dating the Emperor of 200 BC ancient China, Qin Shi Huang. Thought you were saying that the age difference was disgusting. Yep, we're going to watch a couple clips from it, Torchy. It was definitely worth a watch. At least parts of it are. God damn. We're going to watch firefighters desperately try to rescue a man who fell into a trench in Southern California. A python crushed a grandmother to death. The village where it happened, apparently taking revenge on said python. We have a thief that broke into a house and apparently drugged the family dog. Now, I saw a picture of the dog, and I probably wouldn't have done this story if that hadn't been for the picture. It really, other than alerting the family that there was somebody there was nothing that dog would have been able to do. It was an itty-bitty pug. It was not going to prevent a break-in. I don't think we have video of the grandmother getting crushed. I think we have video of the village taking revenge on the snake. There is a manhunt underway in NYC for a shooter on the subway. A man who escaped police custody is back in custody. And a wild series of events. A 16-year-old jumped in front of a gun and saved a girl's life. The FBI, what in the fuck is up with the Biden DOJ all of a sudden in the last few months of their existence doing their fucking jobs? What the hell? The FBI raiding homes of top aides, top people connected to Mayor Eric Adams. Apparently one of the phones seized in today's raids was that of the New York Police Department commissioner. Speaking of public corruption, we're going to check back in with the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, Tiffany Henyard. She apparently was trying to throw a party. The board of trustees that was put in place to rein her in tried to stop her party. Her party went on as planned. This woman is wild. I am so into this ongoing story, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois. All that and a lot freaking more tonight on the Troll Patrol Live. Good evening. Welcome. Also, it's kind of wild that Tim Pool is tweeting through everything he's going through. I have seen multiple lawyers retweet him and say, it is in your best interest to shut the fuck up. The latest is that the FBI has apparently contacted Tim Pool and asked him to come in for a voluntary interview, and he's going to do it. That's what he says. So here's the thing. This is what's awesome. So they're gonna go in. They're gonna get Tim to kind of flip on the two employees from RT that they're actually pursuing. So they're gonna try to get Tim to flip on them. But here's the thing: if Tim goes in and lies and says he knew nothing about the money that he was receiving or where it came from, and then we find out later, or the FBI already knows that he did know where the money was coming from? Tim Pool in some serious legal trouble. That is why Tim Pool should shut the fuck up and hire a lawyer. But I don't think he's smart enough to do that. Multi-millionaire. Not going to be smart enough to hire a lawyer and shut the fuck up. Holiday, Soup, good evening. That, the fucking story, the Gregov guy that had the LinkedIn profile that contacted it, the whole thing is insane. Speaking of Majority Report, I'm sitting here having dinner yesterday, and a Kimmy from Kentucky calls in. She's in Lexington, originally from Pikeville, and I'm like, is that my friend Kim? And she's bitching about JD Vance. And I'm like, Kim, did you call into the Majority Report this afternoon? And she's like, no, why? And I'm like, what's the odds that a Kim in the city you reside in, from the city we're from, called into the Majority Report? There can't be that many of you. Because we were from an incredibly... I can't believe they were talking about my fucking small-ass town on the Majority Report. But JD Vance going to Pikeville, Kentucky. All right, we're starting things off tonight, not where you'd probably expect. To me, this was the main event for this evening. I have avoided seeing what he says all fucking day, so I have no idea what the outcome is going to be when we listen to this. So I'm in for my own little surprise here. Oh yes, Warlord, Linkin Park. They had their little. They actually had a concert. If I'd known it was going to be a concert, I probably would have tried to stream it. I was after the last debacle with their countdown. I was like, I'm not fucking with this anymore. But they've announced their new lead singer, and it's I forget her name, but she's the lead singer of Dead Sarah. I really like Dead Sarah. I think they did a good job picking her. I listened to like the first 3 or 4 songs of their concert as I was getting the show ready. She did a really good job. So I'm probably a bigger Linkin Park fan because of their pick for lead singer. She is awesome. Check her out. Anyway. So not Linkin Park. What I've been waiting for all day is Alan Lichtman's prediction for who is going to win the 2024 election. This has been the man that has been spot on all but one election in the past 30 years.
Breaking development this morning, this in the race for the White House as the Nostradamus of presidential predictions is out with his pick finally for who will win the White House. And he's been right 9 out of the last 10 elections. The local historian making the national news right now, Alan Lichtman, joining us live with his choice and why he made that pick. Always a pleasure to talk to you. We've been waiting for this. We're not going to wait any longer. Let us know what you decided.
If you've never seen him, he has, I believe it's 13 keys. He has 13 keys. Now, Biden was up in the keys to the White House. It's whoever has the majority of the keys is who he predicts to be the winner. Biden was up, but he hadn't made a full prediction yet. So now we have a completely shaken up race since the last time I have seen him speak on this particular race. So let's see what he's going to say. I think it's Harris.
You know, my prediction system is unique, and as you said, it's been essentially right for 40 years. I would say 10 of 10, but I'm not going to relitigate 2000 here. The way it works is it taps into the structure of how elections really work as votes up or down on the strength and performance.
So 2000 is the one that he got wrong. Technically, he got it right. He predicted Trump would win in 2016.
The White House party. And if 6 or more of my 13 factors go against the White House party, they're predicted losers. Otherwise, they are predicted winners. And I finally come to my final prediction and concluded that the White House party, the Democrats, now represented by Kamala Harris, would not lose any more than 5 keys. Thus, my prediction is Kamala Harris will be a precedent-breaking president of the United States, the first woman president in U.S. history.
Alan, when Kamala Harris took over as the top nominee for the Democrats, we talked about this, and you said at the time you wanted to be adamant that this was, you were not making your pick at that time. You're making your pick now. Did anything change, or was there anything that you were looking at specifically between when Joe Biden was leading the nomination and when Kamala Harris did?
And he had Biden up.
First of all, was the fact that Democrats finally got a spine and got smart and united around Harris. That avoided the loss of the party contest key. They already lost one key, the incumbency key, obviously. But to lose both of them is a near fatal combination. So that made a huge difference. The other thing, I think Harris has had a positive effect on a couple of other keys. I think she contributed to the fizzling of the RFK Jr. campaign, since voters no longer had to choose between 2 old white guys. Hate to say that, being an old white guy myself. And secondly, I think she contributed to the dampening of major protests because Biden, the policymaker, was no longer out front. So those 2 keys, social unrest, third party, and of course, party contest key, were critical keys that turned in favor of the incumbents. And remember, this is a prediction, not an endorsement. I predict about as many Republican as Democratic victories, including Donald Trump in 2016.
November, warlord.
Own history of predictions, Alan. For this time now, as we're now 2 months out, almost exactly, as to the election, could anything change that would impact those keys between now and Election Day?
Not since the Civil War has anything in the last 30 days changed a call. In the Civil War, we had the big Union victories very late. Does that mean it's impossible?
Well, his system for picking who's going to win the presidency has to do with a lot of factors that wouldn't, translate. You'd have to come up with a whole new system for the Senate and the House.
No, I'm not so arrogant to say, nothing can change.
Yes, this is the 13 keys. 13
They're
keys.
still very shaky, that I've kind of split.
Fox, good evening.
Military failure and success keys. It's conceivable, given how fluid wars are, and there are 2 wars going on, both of those keys could...
We aren't in those wars.
...against the Democrats, but that would still, even in that dire scenario for Democrats, leave them down 5 keys, still 1 key short of a predicted defeat. That's why I said they really are in a position to lose a maximum of 5 keys.
Presidential predictor Alan Lichtman out with his prediction for this year, going with Kamala Harris based on his keys for the presidency. Alan, I appreciate you joining us this morning to make that news and to explain some of the background and research that goes into it. Thanks very much. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks, Alan.
Alan can lick my asshole. That wasn't NBC. Georgie mentioned the what did they call this economic forum held earlier today in New York City. It was the Economic Club of New York. And I don't even know how to set this up. I don't know what he says, but I know everybody says it's batshit crazy, so.
If you win in November, can you commit to prioritizing legislation to make childcare affordable? And if so, what specific piece of legislation will you advance?
Well, I would do that, and we're sitting down. I was we had Senator Marco Rubio, and my daughter Ivanka was so impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue. But I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, that, because look, childcare is childcare. There's something, you have to have it. In this country, you have to have it. But when you talk about those numbers compared to the kind of numbers that I'm talking about by taxing foreign nations at levels that they're not used to, but they'll get used to it very quickly. And it's not going to stop them from doing business with us, but they'll have a very substantial tax when they send product into our country. Those numbers are so much bigger than any numbers that we're talking about, including childcare, that it's going to take care. We're going to have, I look forward to having no deficits within a fairly short period of time, coupled with the reductions that I told you about on waste and fraud and all of the other things that are going on in our country, because I have to stay with childcare. I want to stay with childcare, but those numbers are small relative to the kind of economic numbers that I'm talking about, including growth, but growth also headed up by what the plan is that I just told you about. We're going to be taking in trillions of dollars, and as much as child care is talked about as being expensive, it's relatively speaking not very expensive compared to the kind of numbers we'll be taking in. We're going to move into an incredible country that can afford to take care of its people, and then we'll worry about the rest of the world. Let's help other people. But we're going to take care of our country first. This is about America first. It's about make America great again. We have to do it because right now we're a failing nation. So we'll take care of it. Thank you.
What? I guess that's was that anything? Justin, I'm sorry you got the ad. Twitch has changed the way they do ads. I don't have control over them anymore. I'm going to try to switch it back to where we do them all at once, get them out of the way. You guys give me feedback on how the ads are working and shit. But I had to go and like reset it in order to, like, they weren't even playing ads on my shit. I'm still dumbfounded by what the fuck Trump tried to say. You don't get ads because you're turbo. Other people don't get ads because they're sub. But like, I don't want you to have to sub to my channel. I like fucking, if you've got better things to do with that money, fucking please do it. If you feel that you get enough content and you want to sub and you don't want the ads, totally go for it. But I don't want anybody to be locked out because of, financial constraints or anything. I want to make the revenue part of the streaming as painless as possible. And I don't want to keep I want to put it on my fucking screen like, hey, pay my rent for me this month. Not that I'm saying other streamers do that stupid shit. Mitochondria, good evening. Soup, did I tell you good evening? Somebody shout Soup out. Thread, are you in here? Fucking shout Soup out. Why are you slacking? God damn it, Thread. I'm so sorry. Soup's always so mean to you when I go in, Thread. Dog, good evening. Somebody beat you to it. Did anybody who was on an ad want to watch this again? It's nonsense.
When they send product into our country, those numbers are so much bigger than any numbers that we're talking about, including childcare, that it's going to take care. We're going to have, I look forward to having no deficits within a fairly short period of time, coupled with the reductions that I told you about on waste and fraud and all of the other things that are going on in our country. Because I have to stay with childcare. I want to stay with childcare, but those numbers are small relative to the kind of economic numbers that I'm talking about, including growth, but growth also headed up by what the plan is that I just told you about. We're going to be taking in trillions of dollars, And as much as child care is talked about as being expensive, it's relatively speaking not very expensive compared to the kind of numbers we'll be taking in. We're going to.
What does that fucking mean? He's going to up GDP growth, and then childcare isn't going to be that expensive. J.D. Vance, his vice presidential nominee, was asked the same question yesterday at a Turning Points event. He's probably saying it a lot more coherently, but he still didn't say shit.
What can we do about lowering the cost of daycare? Hayden, obviously a working family, and it's very hard for working families to get by. How will we lower the cost of daycare?
You know, such an important question, Charlie. And I think one of the things that we can do is make it easier for family models to choose, or for families to choose whatever model they want, right? So one of the ways that you might be able to relieve a little bit of pressure on people who are paying so much for daycare,
anonymously,
make it so that you know, maybe like grandma or grandpa wants to help out a little bit more, or maybe there's an aunt or uncle that wants to help out a little bit more. If that happens,
brother, here in the real world, grandma and grandpa are having to get jobs as greeters down at the Walmart to make ends meet nowadays. Fuck off.
Relieve some of the pressure on all the resources that we're spending in daycare. Now, you talk about just daycare. Let's say you don't have somebody who can provide that extra set of hands. What we've got to do is actually empower people to get trained in the skills that they need for the 21st century. We've got a lot of people who love kids, who would love to take care of kids, but they can't, either because they don't have access to the education that they need, or maybe more importantly, because the state government says you can't take care of children unless you have some ridiculous...
It should make you angry.
Nothing to do. Nothing to do with taking care of kids. So empower people to get the skills they need. Don't force every early child care specialist to go and get a 6-year college degree where they've got a whole lot of debt and Americans are much poorer because they're paying out the wazoo for daycare. Empower
free college
families, empower people who want to do these things for a living, and that's what we got to do.
Free college. That's how you empower people that want to do these things for a living. You offer them the education without barriers. Yeah, John, light one up, tip one back. Certainly not high enough for this shit. Last night we watched the Trump town hall on Hannity. One of the parts that went viral today was this 36-second clip where Donald Trump says the word weird 26 times. 22 times in 36 seconds.
Let me play Kamala. There's something weird with that guy. He's a weird guy. JD is not weird. He's a solid rock. I happen to be a very solid rock. We're not weird. We're other things perhaps, but we're not weird. But he is a weird guy. He walks on the stage. There's something wrong with that guy. And he called me weird. And then the fake news media picks it up. That was the word of the day. Weird, weird, weird. They're all going... But we're not weird guys. We're very solid people that want our country
very solid.
Great again. I mean, it's very simple. Let's play.
Yeah, apparently the question and answer portion is going to be tonight at 9. We're going to watch that. Don't worry, I got you covered. Tim Walz responded to Donald Trump's weird salad.
I did see this, that Donald Trump was in Pennsylvania, was he not, last night? Harrisburg. There's a saying in politics, if you're explaining, you're losing, but I want to say this. I did watch part of it last night. 11 times Donald Trump explained to us that he wasn't weird. Okay. I didn't say it. I think we might be getting under the skin there a little bit. But look, when I said that, this isn't about name calling or anything. I was pointing out it's weird to be obsessed with people's personal lives.
Yes.
It's weird to be obsessed with people's healthcare choices. It's weird to continue to talk about sharks and batteries and boats and things like that.
Today, I was having a discussion with a dude about the Venezuelan gangs, and he brought up gender incessantly. The entire time we're talking about crime statistics, he kept bringing up pronouns and gender and men getting pregnant. And it's like, dude, are you okay? What the fuck is wrong? Right-wing media has warped your fucking brain to where it's all you fucking think about is pronouns, and trans people scare you. Do you even know any trans people? Jesus! Is it like fucking... And when they say the shit about pronouns, it kind of makes them sound like, you know, they're stupid and don't know what a pronoun is. They think a pronoun was something just made up in the last fucking 5 years. Cab, thank you for being a freaking follower. I hope you're doing well tonight. I'm JustinFREAKIN. We find out what that news be doing. We're going to be watching the Trump town hall, I guess the part deuce. I assume they stayed and filmed it after what we watched last night. They took questions from that audience. Surely they didn't assemble that audience again tonight and it's going to be live. I don't play Apex Legends, and I was getting ready to go to bed. That you're fucking... You invite me to games I don't ever fucking play and then wonder why I don't accept them? What the hell? Have you ever seen me play Apex Legends? No, you haven't, because I ain't ever goddamn played it. You're so needy. Why are you needy? You're needy, Ursa. And like people keep calling me gay. One, I'm not gay. I suck a little dick every now and again.
I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth. I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life. Then I want you inside of me.
Not gay.
Women love masculinity, and women do.
Because Jesse Waters knows all about being a masculine man. This motherfucker has picked up women based on his masculinity. Is that what you're telling me? Daffy, good evening.
Do not love Tim Walz. So women love masculinity, and women do not love Tim Walz. So that should just tell you about how masculine Tim Walz is. The other day, you saw him with a vanilla ice cream shake. Had a straw in it.
Oh.
Again, that tells you everything. Judge Janine. Women love masculinity, and women do not love Tim.
No, if we're being technical, I am pansexual. I can get busy with anybody on the spectrum. Is it gay to drink a milkshake? Oh, it's when you suck it through a straw. Only there's cum in it. I guess you could call me by the definition of the word degenerate, I am indeed a degenerate. What if you're drinking it through a penis? Then that might be kind of gay. Kinda. Little gay. Funny you should bring up penis. Speaking of penis, Hunter Biden was in court today. This is NBC News. There will be. Oh God, I was getting ready to say there's going to be Lester after. There's Lester during.
This about President Biden's son, Hunter. In a stunning development, he has just pled guilty to 9 federal tax charges in a Los Angeles courtroom. Hunter Biden is charged with filing false tax returns and not paying more than $1 million in taxes. His guilty plea came after a last-minute attempt today to avoid a trial while still maintaining his innocence. The case is now in the hands of the judge who will decide on the sentence. Let's get right to our NBC legal team, Laura Jarrett and Danny Savalas. Laura, first walk us through what's happened. A lot of developments today along.
A lot of developments. Obviously, the major headline here is that he has pled guilty to all 9 counts that he was facing. Obviously, it was going to be a lengthy trial, an embarrassing trial, a spectacle for the president's son, on including 3 different felonies: failure to pay his taxes on time, failure to file them, tax evasion. The gist of it was basically he was spending money on everything but his taxes, according to prosecutors. Now, he had
like crack and hookers.
He had maintained his innocence all along, but when he first came in today, his lawyer surprised everyone by trying to do a legal move where he was going to essentially maintain his innocence, but recognize the strength of the government's case.
Kind of an Alfred plea.
Exactly. And so what that was going to allow him to do was essentially save face, but avoid trial, avoid the risk of him actually being convicted. Obviously, this coming after he was already convicted back in June on an entirely different set of charges, but understanding the risk there, given what happened back in June, you can see why he chose to go forward with this guilty plea today.
Danny Savalas, let me bring you in this.
They are silly charges, Nick.
It's sentencing. How serious are these charges?
Not only are these charges serious, but don't forget, Hunter Biden has already been convicted. So it's entirely possible, depending on scheduling, that he may be considered under the sentencing guidelines as someone with a prior record. And under the federal sentencing guidelines, having a prior record vaults you into a different category of sentencing. And so this is normal. The sentencing being set out a few months allows time for probation to conduct an investigation, prepare a report, which they will give to the judge. I calculate the sentencing guidelines at roughly around the 33-month range, but they're not mandatory. A judge can go above or below the sentencing guidelines. So,
and could he be sentenced concurrently with the conviction in Washington?
He could possibly. It really depends procedurally on what his attorneys do. It's something that he really would have had a better shot at doing last year when a possible plea agreement fell apart. So it does beg the question, why go to trial on one of these and decide at the last minute to enter a guilty plea in this one? And I just add that the Alfred plea he was looking to enter, that's kind of it's a guilty plea where you may...
Trump pled not guilty today, Torchy. Trump pleading not guilty in the last few hours in the January 6th case.
Maintain your innocence. They're very controversial. They're very rare. Judges, the prosecutors, any of those can veto it at any time. And not surprisingly, it appears that's what's happened here.
And Laura,
why are you so controversial? Why are you out here just getting auto-modded every fucking thing you say?
Remind us, for those who have not been following this case, that there have been a lot of twists and turns, including that what was once a deal.
Not a couple of thousand, but, a few hundred.
Deal that crumbled at the behest of the questioning from the judge, who recognized the two sides were very far apart.
You're problematic.
Wanted sort of global assurance that he would not be tried for anything in the future, and prosecutors weren't willing to give it to him. Because remember, Republicans had been going after Hunter and the Biden family, talking about things like foreign influence and the like, none of which has been charged or proven, but the risk was there. And so he didn't accept that deal originally when the judge questioned him and made sure you recognize you're not getting any assurance on that. And so that's why we're here today, because he didn't reach a plea deal ultimately on that. And he can still be charged in the future for any other crimes, Lester. This is only a plea deal as it relates to these 9 counts.
Let's talk about the future then, Danny, the potential for a presidential pardon. Could that happen in this case?
We're doing less mods, not more mods.
But given these developments?
Taking power away from you fuckers.
Is one of the broadest powers given to the executive in the Constitution.
People are out of control.
So the president has options. He can commute a sentence. He can reduce the sentence.
Listen. There are too many. I would say no mods. I would love to have no mods. However, we got the hate raid that one night. So, that's made me I've got to have people that are on top of it. And I've got to have enough mods that there's likely to be at least 1 or 2 people here. I didn't purge you. This whole mod thing is insane. Drake, chat anarchy. No, Dustin, you still have your sword. No purge. ACAB or AMAB. All mods are bastards. Big drama in the chat. So there are too many streamers. They're just fucking banning every fucking body. Ban everybody fucking come in chat. Fucking Rhizome fucking banning me from his fucking chat. I don't like that. If somebody is in your fucking chat, this is me as a content creator. This is to you, the mods. If somebody is in my chat, I can win them over as a viewer. I don't care what side they're on. We even have conservatives that watch now. So I want a very loose ban hammer. I want you guys to have the power and exercise it the way I want cops to exercise their power. That's exactly right, Mox. That's what you're supposed to do. And if somebody comes in here and they're using slurs that'll get me banned from Twitch, give them the boot. Give them the boot. Other than that, free game, free roam in here. I should make Bagheera mod. Like a sloppy Reno whore. That's like a sloppy fucking. And I'm not saying that, like, I'm not deriding sloppy Reno whores. Like, I love a dirty whore. That's who I want to have sex with. I want a woman that looks like she has every STD, because she knows how to fuck. No one ever overturns your auto. No, I think the auto mod is too strict, but I think I have it on like the lightest strictness. And once again, all this strictness only came after the hate raid, after Dalton Codfilter came into my chat. That's when all these restrictions got put on. I'm not ever exercising a ban hammer. That's why I leave it up to you guys. I have not gotten any Russian money, but I'm open to it. Russia, if you're listening to me, I'm better than Tim Pool. I'm smarter. You don't even have to give it to me like unwittingly. You can tell me, hey, this is Russian money. I don't give a fuck about the United States. I don't have any patriotism for this fucking country. I'll take your goddamn. The fucking United States has been raping me for 40 fucking years. I don't give a shit. You want, like, if I can get my hands on some state fucking secrets, I'll sell them. I don't give a shit. But here's the problem is I wouldn't make a fucking good spy because I talk too much. I tell everybody everything. Blah, 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 blah. Don't trust Justin with secrets. And if you're going to tell me something you don't want anybody else to know, fucking tell me you don't want anybody else to know. I don't pick up on fucking social cues. I'll tell everyone on fucking stream. Fucking shit. I can't lie. That's why I'm horrible at poker. I love playing poker on video games because I am. Sparkles would totally turn me in. Sparkles would turn me in because she has no love lost for me. However, Sparkles is really anti-cop and she's no snitch. So there's little conflicting values there. Speaking of the FBI raided homes of at least 3 top New York City officials connected to Mayor Eric Adams.
News rattling the halls at City Hall. Morgan McKay is in the newsroom breaking it all down. And what do we know right now, Morgan?
Steve and Natasha, we're talking about a massive operation here. The FBI raiding the homes of at least 5 people in Mayor Eric Adams' administration, including 2 of his deputy mayors.
What's this outfit when you have to deliver the news at noon and then you've got a ball at 9? What the hell? You going to the fucking prom?
The school's chancellor, and even reportedly the NYPD commissioner.
It is all about the kids. If there's any other comments that will be made, it'll be happening tomorrow.
A testy school's chancellor, David Banks, did not answer questions about the FBI raid on his home in Harlem that he shares with Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright. It is unclear at this time if the raid was targeting one or both of them, but
Holiday got a crush. Morgan McKay.
It is all about the kids. If there's any other comments that will be made, it'll be happening tomorrow.
This is the school's chancellor.
Chancellor David Banks did not answer questions about the FBI raid on his home in Harlem that he shares with Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright. It is unclear at this time if the raid was targeting one or both of them, but electronic devices were seized from their home. FBI agents on Wednesday also raided the home of Deputy Mayor for Public Safety, Phil Banks.
No, nothing on the mayor yet.
Phil Banks' attorney, Benjamin Brofman, confirmed this.
But it certainly seems like the feds are closing in on Eric Adams, does it not?
For us this afternoon. Phil Banks has been entangled with law enforcement before and was previously named by federal prosecutors as an unindicted co-conspirator in an investigation into a...
Well, we don't know what this is regarding, but apparently Eric Adams has been on the take from other countries, such as Russia, and I believe it was, what, Turkey? I think he was fucking taking money from Turkey.
A police bribery scheme during former Mayor Bill de Blasio's administration. Banks abruptly retired from the NYPD in 2014, but returned to city government after Mayor Eric Adams took office in 2022. Additionally, numerous outlets are reporting that the FBI also raided the home of NYPD Commissioner Edward Caban. A law enforcement source tells Fox 5 that several NYPD executives, including the police commissioner, were told to turn over their phones immediately to the U.S. Attorney's Office with the Southern District of New York. A spokesperson for the NYPD would not go into detail but said, quote, "The department is aware of an investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York involving members of service. The department is fully cooperating in the investigation." On top of that, FBI agents also raided the home of another Adams aide, Tim Pearson, who is currently facing multiple lawsuits for allegedly sexually harassing female employees and is facing a separate investigation.
What the fuck is up with his eye? Somebody slapped this motherfucker silly. Mary Jane, good evening.
For his role in a fight at a migrant shelter. A spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York would not comment on the investigation.
Been a bad week if your name is Tim.
This investigation is likely separate from the federal corruption inquiry facing the mayor involving his campaign fundraising and possible ties to the Turkish government. In that investigation, Adams himself was served a grand jury subpoena in July and was forced to turn over his cell phones to the FBI. Agents have also raided the homes of his top campaign fundraiser and another one of his aides in connection with that investigation. City Hall Chief Counsel Lisa Zornberg in response said, quote, "Investigators have not indicated to us..."
Why not Zornberg? I fucked it up.
Any investigation. As a former member of law enforcement, the mayor has repeatedly
Zoidberg. There we go.
Of the team need to follow the law. Now, as Adams was leaving City Hall today, he also told a few reporters there that they will continue to turn over any information the FBI needs, and he is going to continue to be the mayor of New York. Steve and Natasha?
All right, Morgan, thank you.
Seriously, those eyelashes, that dress, like, that is not, like, a news attire, is it? I knew a guy named Lauren. Going to a dance recital after. We are about 10 minutes away from the Donald Trump town hall. We're gonna do one more. This is the stories were meant to like transition well from politics to crime, as you can tell. We're going to do one more public corruption story, then we'll do the Trump town hall, the Q&A session. This should be the most fun. Questions from the audience. So let's check in with everyone's favorite mayor, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois.
WGN investigates a party with a purpose. South Suburban.
Do I need to catch everybody up on who Tiffany Henyard is? She came in with a $2 million surplus in her city. She is now $3 million in the hole. We believe that she has spent all $5 million on herself and her friends that she's put into positions of power in this small town called Dalton, Illinois. And I think she might be having some kind of fling with one of the like police chiefs or something.
Urban politician Tiffany Henyard threw a bash this weekend. She's trying to silence her critics amidst an ongoing federal investigation into her spending and leadership.
And it is as investigative reporter Ben Bradley found, like many of Henyard's events,
shoulder poofs.
Taxpayers are left footing some of the bill.
Hey guys, hey! It's your super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor.
The super mayor took to social media to promote her party. There was a bounce house, skating, and a food giveaway.
But I spend my own money to make sure that I put on for my city. I'm always put my money where my mouth is.
Henyard said she paid after trustees refused. They're trying to control her spending and were skittish because the event was advertised as the Friends of Tiffany Henyard Picnic. That's also the name of her campaign fund. Her lawyer denies it was a political event, but it's clear the bash was meant to bolster Henyard's image as she faces a federal investigation into her spending in Dalton, where she's the mayor, and Thornton Township, where she's the supervisor.
And for those that don't know, let me make sure I'm crystal clear about this. I ain't never took a damn thing in my life. So I want to make sure y'all hear it out of my mouth.
Let's start with the party's location. It was held at a skating rink Henyard commissioned in Dalton with an initial estimated cost of $269,000.
Nice.
WGN Investigates had to sue Dalton to get Henyard's administration to release credit cards.
Yeah, Dustin, at first I wanted to be on her side because she got swag, she got style. Oh my God, but no, she guilty as fuck. She totally ripped this town off.
Records, and we noticed a $17,000 charge to a roller skate wholesaler.
I'm thinking that's for the roller skates that the residents never got a chance to use.
Dalton trustee Tammy Brown says Henyard's rink doesn't keep regular hours. Skycam 9 flew over on a beautiful Friday evening, and no one was there.
It's only open when she's there or she's having an event.
At Tuesday night's meeting, trustee Andrew Holmes resurfaced. The Henyard ally is under investigation after a village employee accused him of sexual assault on a taxpayer-funded trip to Las Vegas. He denies wrongdoing and defends Henyard's leadership.
If it's anything that was criminally done, it will be out there. The children are having fun, the families are having fun, and things are getting done.
This was in the box. We got greens. We got greens, beans, potatoes, you name it. Look at that.
Henyard frequently promotes the township's food pantry, but she's been accused of distributing.
I've shown stories of her.
The Greater Chicago
multiple times,
Depository performed a spot check Tuesday and reminded the township its food can't be used to promote a politician.
None of that food comes from the Chicago Food Depository, so they called us about your fake complaints the other day. We already got all that straight.
That's Keith Price, who runs the food pantry. He tells WGN Investigates the food boxes came from township surplus.
But y'all missing the biggest point. You got people like myself that care about community that people try to stop.
Filthy Italians is slur.
Things they cannot control. That's what it's all about. Someone young, vibrant, energetic like myself, who cannot and will not be bought, is the one that's constantly moving forward.
Henyard has frequently been accused of mixing political and public money. Those newly obtained spending records show Dalton taxpayers footed the bill for more than $8,000 worth of hotel rooms during an event for Henyard's namesake cancer charity last year. The charity has now
Tiffany cares.
Illinois Attorney General.
God wanted me to lead the people. God knew that
She is a grifter.
He knew that I would stand strong in the fire for you.
Magada, good evening. His trustees opposed to Henyard wrestle for control. The housing director says he's been locked out of computer systems, and there are questions about who currently has access to the village's bank accounts. Trustees opposed to Henyard say they're working to cobble together a budget that will begin to dig Dalton out of a multi-million-dollar deficit. Ben Bradley, WGN investigates.
Why are you being so incendiary tonight? Watching on Twitch, it wants to do an ad break. We're going to get it out of the way. When you come back from the ad break, we're going to be doing the Trump Town Hall Part Deuce. Apparently taped last night after Is Dirty Italian. This is apparently part 2 from last night where he's going to be taking questions from the audience. Going to take that live, but we're going to go ahead and get the commercial out of the way. So here's your break. So white bread. Such a cracker. Oh shit. Need to watch myself, don't I? Really pushing it. Really pushing it. Whole wheat bread. I don't like a white bread. I don't hate a strong independent woman. I was totally on her side until it was clear that she is a fucking grifter. I'm surprised you weren't here that night, Flash. The first night we watched the story, I was totally on her side. And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Tone doesn't come across in text. It's hard. Speaking of Tone, where's Tones? Haven't seen him in about a week. Had me in the first half, not gonna lie, Flash. I think Tones has been ducking out more when we're not doing big shit. Tones comes in for, like the DNC. We'll see Tones back next week for the debate. I don't blame you. I don't blame anybody that takes a break from doing political content. Watching this kind of shit all the time is bad for your mental health. And I see so many people sharing out the like the horrors from Gaza and stuff. That's not good for your mental health. That's all. I can't remember who it was that tweeted it out. It's like, if you've already been activated to act and be active in the cause and standing up for Palestinian rights, and there's no need to subject yourself to torture porn, murder porn, all the fucking time. And I'm not saying any of you do it. I'm just in general. Just general, not accusing anybody in specific. MILF, good evening! Well, it really seems that Trump is very good at not answering any questions. I'm interested in what they've got going on over here. They're doing like a man on the street thing.
You're going to be on Fox News. You watch Jesse Waters Primetime?
Yeah. What's your name?
Johnny.
Oh. Here's Johnny.
More back-to-school picks. We had Jesse Jr.'s first day today. He was a little upset there because
that poor kid.
Hair product in his hair. And then he got a lot happier and let us take this picture. So first day.
That poor kid.
Congratulations.
Oh my God.
Let's do some texts. Lance from Kansas.
Exactly, Ducky.
The first quarter of the football game for you. You're welcome. Hopefully you have a Nielsen box. Gary from Nebraska. If Kamala has the binder now,
they don't have Nielsen boxes anymore.
Going to do her job. Man, dude.
It's not how things work.
Jean from Goleta, California.
Probably Jean.
Conundrum for Kamala. Which accent will she use? Oof, can't wait to tune in on Tuesday. Steve from Cannon City, Colorado. Jesse, you're right. Merry Christmas to Hunter from Dad. A stocking filled with
He probably is going to pardon him. No, you can't blame him.
That's the best Christmas gift ever. Dave from...
Also, I totally did the Kamala accent thing.
Nailed it.
For tomorrow's freaking news.
His own advice and change his name to Gad Joy.
I was making this, I was like, this feels really racist.
Pennsylvania. McDonald's Gate is the October
quesadilla. Good evening.
Keep drilling. Every day, they'll be getting a call from us. Gary from Mobile, Alabama. Wrong collar tonight. Why'd you flip-flop? Well, I'm still in the process of shirt shopping. Don't hold me. Bernie from Melbourne, Florida. Did you notice Chris Hansen's collar and tie knot? Think about it.
What?
Okay, guys, I get it. My collar's too spread. Patty Cake from Huntersville, North Carolina. You need to apologize for never...
I assure you, no one has been too spread around you.
Sorry, Patty Cake. It's all for tonight. DVR the show. And always remember, I'm Waters, and this is my world.
That's horrible. My catchphrases are way better than his.
Welcome to Hannity, and tonight early voting in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania gets underway in only 12 days. Now the first mail-in ballots will be sent out to...
Collar shame this motherfucker.
It will be tomorrow in North Carolina, and the election is a mere 60 days away. But Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, they have conducted only one interview. Combined, they both literally run from every question, even though shouted by friendly reporters. They have held 0 press conferences, no town halls, gaggles, none of it. In the same time frame, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance have participated in well over 40 interviews in town halls and press conferences, including last night in Harrisburg, PA, where the former president took questions for more than an hour. In fact, well, we couldn't fit it all in just one show. I did have one more question for the president. You'll see the answer to this in a moment. And that was about whether or not the president would, in fact, how would he debate Kamala Harris? Is he ready for what she's about to throw at him, which I think is pretty easy to predict. But let's first go to audience questions from our exclusive town hall with former President Donald Trump.
Not high enough for this shit.
Questions from the audience. You know, I always plan out, I do all this research to ask you questions, and you just go.
He's stumbling.
We came here also to hear from the people of Harrisburg. Before we get to the people I want to again introduce, we introduced him last night on the show. Dave McCormick is the Republican Senate candidate from Pennsylvania. Senator, great to have you. I'll give you a chance to say a couple of words.
Yes, thank you. Well, thank you, Sean, and thank you for Mr. President for being here in the Keystone State. And the Keystone State is going to decide the future of the country, put you back in the White House and a majority in the Senate. So thank you. Thank you, Dave. And
we are going to watch this guy debate Bob Casey on October 3rd.
around the world, Iran, China,
Lenny, good evening.
North Korea are testing us. They're challenging us. We've lost deterrence. They think America's weak. They think America's on retreat.
Right.
And my question to you is on day one, when you're
This McCormick guy is gaining in the polls.
restore deterrence, how do we bring strength and capability back to our
Bob Casey is the incumbent Democratic senator.
and the world knows that America is back?
So thank you, David, and good luck with the race. It's really important that you win. I hope you're going to vote. He's a great gentleman and he's a great warrior.
I need to get high.
We have to strengthen our country from within. And we have a lot of bad people from within, but we have to straighten it.
You're one of them.
Have a border like we had it 4 years ago, which was strong.
You want to talk about bad people?
Get in. We have to have that. The other thing we want to
Curious, sir.
Energy independent. We were energy independent 4 years ago. And what we really want is energy.
They are hammering hard on Pennsylvania.
We built the entire military, and we had it like no.
So the Republicans are hoping that Trump will carry the Republican Senate candidate to the win.
Equipment to Afghanistan in the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. But we have a lot more than that.
Trump has to win Pennsylvania in order to win the presidency.
But we want to do it.
There's like no path for him
That's
if he doesn't win Pennsylvania.
Through We shouldn't have to use our military. But we're going to have the greatest military in the world. Thank you, David.
All right, ma'am, hi, what's your name?
My name is Deborah Williams.
Hi, Deborah, how are you?
Hey, Debbie.
Good now.
Ooh.
The president. I'm just guessing. No, I'm kidding.
I plead the fifth.
Good answer.
Got a lot of junk in the trunk.
President, I want to thank you for coming and sharing your time with us today.
Thank you, Deborah.
What could you share that you've learned during the first time being in the Oval Office for those who are hesitant to vote for you now?
So we need a strong president. And, you know, I actually think we had a very...
Why we're not voting for you, dipshit.
Administration. We were hit with this weaponization. We were hit to weaponize. They've never done this before. The weaponization, all of the different Russia hoax, all of the...
That's like the only state that let RFK take his name out the ballot.
Single one of them. The most important thing, and I found it, and you could say this is true in business also, we have to get the right people. When I first went there, 2016, I had a lot of good people. I had a lot of good...
Nothing wrong with getting a daily facial.
People in that in some cases were not what I really wanted because I didn't know much about Washington. I was there 17 times in my whole life, and I wasn't in D.C. very much. But I got to know them, and I got to know them the hard way. And I know the good ones, the bad ones, the weak ones, the smart ones, the dumb ones. I know them all now. And the key, and we had great ones. I mean, economic development, we did so well. The military, we did fantastically well. We knocked out ISIS, 100% of the...
I don't consider Jill Stein the left.
In the military, not the ones that you see on television, but great people. But a big key to running it is get the right people. You put the right person and the right group of people at the heads of these massive...
Jill Stein makes it hard to vote for Jill Stein.
And I know now the people, and I know them better than anybody would know them. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Deborah.
Jill Stein has nobody to blame but herself.
Ma'am, what's your name?
Sue Helm, and I'd like to welcome you to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
And both the Green Party and the Libertarian Party weaker than they were 20 years ago.
I'm the owner of Century 21 at the Helm Real Estate.
Good.
The 4 years of your presidency, Mr. Trump, were the best economically I have experienced in the 35 years I own this business. And my question is, what are your plans and policies to restore the economy so small business owners can thrive and make America great once again?
Good.
Thank you.
Good. You know, we had a woman who was very spectacular, Linda McMahon, and she ran the small...
Linda McMahon!
Did a phenomenal job. And that's a very important group for what we're talking about with small business. But to put it a little simpler, we're going to have low interest rates. We're going to have low taxes. We're going to give you tremendous...
Linda McMahon going to be like the head of the Fed in the second Trump administration.
They said, one person who didn't support me, he said, I must admit, I had the most successful 4 years of my life, but I'm going to vote for some. I said, and now that person came back to me. I don't want that person. I don't want that person. You know, they say you should take everybody, but that's not the way I'm built. It's one of those little problems. This person, no, this was in the Republican primary, said, I had the best 4 years I've ever had under Trump, but I'm going to support this one. I said, that's the end of that, you know, when they came back. But we're going to lower interest rates. We're going to have low taxes. We're going to have tremendous...
I don't think Peter Thiel wants any kind of a position like that.
It's much bigger than big business in this country when you add it all up. And we're going to take care of small business in this country.
Peter Thiel's behind-the-scenes guy.
Sir, what's your name?
Travis Finkenbinder. I'm from Palmyra, Pennsylvania. I'd like to welcome you both here, and it's an honor to stand before you.
Remember what the question was, Dougie.
Mr. President, is it possible to correct the extensive damage the current administration has caused related to our safety and security, from the border crisis to the plethora of weapons left behind?
Oh, yeah, this dude was a cop or military.
For my 3 adolescent sons. At night, what do I tell Kale, Kate, and Cole about their safety and their future of this great nation?
Well, the first thing...
Sounds like school shooter names.
Amen.
Because what they've done to our country, right? What they've done to our country, what these, and I hate
His kids are KKK.
people, naive people, but bad people. You know, weaponization. Again, they're after me. I got more court cases. On Friday I have one. On Monday I have one. And they do that for very bad reasons. They don't want you to campaign.
No, it's because you're a criminal.
They want to try and take as much money as possible instead of putting it in. But let me just tell you, the hardest problem we have, because a smart president would be able to get along with Russia, China. There are a lot of reasons why. But the biggest problem we have is
in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and it could be a sundown town.
And I told you last night, I tell you tonight, it's the single biggest problem. They've poisoned our country. They're coming in from prisons. They're coming in.
Wait a minute, there was a fort there, wasn't there?
Terrorists are coming in. The criminals are coming off the streets in Caracas, Venezuela, but all over the world, not just in South America. It's the single hardest problem that we would have never had. If I were president, you wouldn't have that problem. You wouldn't have inflation. You wouldn't have Russia attacking Ukraine. You wouldn't have had October 7th with Israel. You wouldn't have had the Afghanistan disaster, which I think is the single most embarrassing day in the history of our country, where they have billions of dollars.
Not the day you were sworn in.
13 great soldiers, and I celebrated and honored their wonderful, they call them their children, and they are their children. They're wonderful children. They're kids. I went to
Couldn't be allowed around kids.
Cemetery with them the other day, and at their request, and Sean knows this better than anybody. And it was very tough for me to get there, I will tell you. I don't want to say that, but it was very tough. I was in a different part of the world, frankly. And I got there, and we had a beautiful couple of hours together. First, we had a ceremony, and then we had we went down to the grave sites, and they said, "Sir, could we have a picture with my son?" In one case, it was a daughter.
He's saying the family did it.
I stayed for a long time, and then I left, and that was it. I thought it was beautiful. And those people are phenomenal, what they've done. Joe Biden and Kamala killed those children because of their incompetence. Just like they had a gun that killed them.
Wow.
I went home, and I thought it was a beautiful thing. I told my wife, I told our great First Lady, who people love, they love her. But
Jinx, Georgie.
Said, it was so sad and yet so beautiful and joyful in a sense. I mean,
I don't believe you. You didn't talk to Melania.
Very special. And I went there, and you know, I had them up to Bedminster. I got to know many of them, most of them. But I get home and I get a call from one of my people, "Sir, that you use this for public relations purposes."
You did.
And you know what happened? It was so beautiful. Every one of those people made a video to say that Donald Trump came there. I got enough publicity. I don't need publicity. I'd like to get half the publicity. I'd be very happy. But they said that, and you saw the videos. The videos became very, very well known and famous, actually. Some beautiful statements. And I went there. I got
Matter is throwing a fit. Yes, Mary Jane.
People that were not taken care of by our government. And Joe Biden and Kamala should call those people and apologize, because that was the most incompetent withdrawal in the history of our country. There's never been anything so. Think of it. We took the military out first. You're supposed to take the military out last. Once the military was gone, they had free shots at us. But we took the military
down with PJC.
And we lost 13.
Yeah, you know me.
Many were horribly wounded, meaning.
Welcome in, my friend. Hit that follow.
The face was obliterated. Many. We don't even talk about those people, and we have to. We left Americans behind, and you cover that better than anybody. We left many Americans behind, and we left billions and billions of dollars of brand new military equipment behind. That now they are one of the largest sellers of military equipment in the world. Afghanistan, they're selling the equipment that we just walked away from. It was so incompetent, but to be with those people was a real honor, I have to tell you. And for them to go out of their way, and every one of them made a video, they said, "Sir, could you take a picture next to the grave of my son?" I said, "Of course. Could you imagine if I said, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But every one of those people appreciated it, and every one of them made a tape, and they sent it out, and it became very viral, as they say nowadays, and it was a great honor for me to be there. Thank you.
And I should add, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were both invited.
P-tape.
You knew these families. You had met with them at Bedminster.
Yes,
you were familiar with them.
I knew them.
And they invited you.
They were highly partisan.
You take a picture, and then you did, and then you were attacked by, and then the families were furious at Kamala about it. I think this is going to be the last question. What's your name, sir?
Hi, Alistair Hackett from Spring Lake, New Jersey.
Hey, Alex.
Oh my God, what is wrong with this kid?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I'm a recent college graduate and am concerned with the growing influence of wokeness
He's a recent
in many of our top
Frankenstein.
institutions. We saw General Milley take this to new heights under his leadership in the military. What is your
fucking the Mary Shelley fucking
in our corporations?
Well, first of all, Milley.
That's where you've seen him before. Glitch, good evening.
Congress, where Milley proclaimed his wokeness, was an embarrassment to our country. And remember this, we don't have a woke military. We have some guys at the top that talk it. But you couldn't convince them to be woke if you were screaming at them for 5 weeks. We took out 100% of the ISIS caliphate in 4 weeks. It was supposed to take 5 years. And I got to meet the real generals, and they are unbelievable. Our military is unbelievable.
The real generals.
Unbelievable.
Not those woke ones.
There's no woke. And all we're going to do is you go out, you get your degree, you work hard, you're going to see a different country. We have to get elected. If we don't get elected, I don't know what's going to happen to our country. I just don't know. They're so bad. And normally I wouldn't say that. I'd say, well, they're working, they're a Democrat. These aren't Democrats. These are people long beyond Democrats. When I used to say to Sean on his show, I'd say, our country, Sean, will never be a socialist country. And it won't. It'll be a communist country. They skipped socialism. We cannot let this happen to our country.
Who did?
This happen, we'll never be able to come back. We'll never be able to make a comeback from it.
So those giant tech corporations
Pennsylvania,
back the Democrats.
Commonwealth. You never want to call
They're communists.
The Commonwealth. If you ever call it a state, I've seen their political career ruined by saying the state of Pennsylvania. No, you never want to call it a state. Now, I'll tell you how dishonest they are. They'll take that one little statement where I said the state of Pennsylvania, and they'll play it, the state of Pennsylvania. They'll cut it.
Well,
what?
Let me just, because they're fake. And one thing we should say, not him and not Fox, and we have
fuck Sean
out there that are good, but the biggest, a great enemy to this country is the fake news media. It's a big, big enemy.
He says on the network that paid out almost $1 billion
before we let the president
for lying.
Because this is airing part 2 on Thursday night, I want to ask you one final question. In 5 nights, you'll be on the stage, not with me, but with Kamala Harris. Now, if I'm going to make a prediction,
Tuesday night, it's exciting.
Try and annoy, agitate, irritate, frustrate, and piss you off, to use a phrase.
I did the thumbnail for it already.
Aware of how she debates, and probably every name in the book she can call you, and without giving away your tactic.
Yeah, you don't want to do that, but when I had Biden, you and I had the same discussion.
Yeah.
And I let him talk. I'm going to let her talk because, you've all seen it. There are those that say that Biden is smarter than she is, okay? And if that's the case, we have a problem. But, debating's an interesting thing. I've been in many debates. I think I probably won because of debating, maybe. We had a lot of debates with the Republicans. Then we had Crooked Hillary. We had a lot of different people we had to debate. And we had some great debates. You do remember the Rosie O'Donnell debate. Remember Rosie? Rosie O'Donnell. She's a real great one. Isn't she a great one? Anyway, but A debate is interesting.
You did in 2016.
With all the strategy you want, but you have to sort of feel it out as the debate's taking place. I've seen it. You go in there and you have a strategy. Mike Tyson made the statement, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. It's true. It was a brilliant statement. It's a brilliant statement. So I could tell Sean exactly what I'm going to do, but, you know, things change. It depends a lot on ABC. Will they be fair or not? If they're not going to be fair...
I don't think Trump has the ability to snooze.
I hope they're going to be fair. We're putting a lot of reliance on a network which is known for being extremely hostile to the people in this room and to, I think, 75, 80% of the country, if you want to really know the truth. But, Sean, all I can say is this. You know, I've seen Mitt Romney go and lock himself into a log cabin for 4 or 5 weeks, and then he came out and he was horrible in the debate. He couldn't talk. He gained great knowledge. He couldn't talk.
What?
Andy Crowley came out and she made a terrible statement that turned out to be wrong, but it destroyed the guy. But look,
what?
You have to... the way I look at debating, I think I've been really practicing all my life for this stuff. I mean, ultimately, that's what it's sort of about. So,
Curious are coming in to play referee. I don't know what's going on.
Interesting evening. And the Biden debate was a very interesting evening. I was sort of surprised by it a little bit, by, you know, what he did and the way he reacted. And you don't know how somebody's going to react. Even a professional, you don't know how they're going to react. And you have to sort of go with it as you get up there.
Crowley, the guy that AOC,
but when you get up
unseated,
I've done a lot of it. I went from never having debated to having done a lot of debates.
Was it AOC?
You know she's going to try and annoy you, but that's not
well. I
gonna
think
happen.
we have a bigger problem. I think that ABC will try and annoy him.
I bet that too.
Okay.
President Donald Trump. Thank you, Harrisburg. All right, many thanks to our friends in Harrisburg, PA, and it was great to see so many of you. When we come back, Vladimir Putin just endorsed a candidate in the 2024 presidential election. Spoiler alert, it's the Democrat who is unburdened by what has been. We'll get reaction from Senator Marco Rubio and Bernie Moreno.
Oh, really? Putin endorsed
talk about Trump
Harris.
Agenda straight ahead.
Putin endorsed Harris. That's not propaganda at all. No. Curiouser ain't taking no shit tonight. What the hell? What is going on in my chat? They don't let you do Gay Gardner. Everybody gone woke. You can't do Gay Gardner jokes anymore. Jesus. Oh my God. What is wrong with you people? Oh, fuck. And I've got a cat over here trying to get into one of my cabinets. Probably best, Torchy, so you don't get any of this on you. What should the lurk command do? A big cage lands on him on stage. All right. We did politics earlier before the Trump town hall. We're gonna do crime stories now. It's pretty hairy for a while. Oh God, we got some shootings, some deaths, escaped convicts, manhunts. Yeah, it's pretty bad for a while. And a python crushing a grandmother. If you don't like that kind of stuff, you probably don't want to stick around for like the whole show. Ludacris with his big arms is pretty cool, but like that's like the only positive thing to stick around for. The rest of this is pretty bad. Already hit the content warning. Father of the suspected Georgia school shooter was arrested just a few hours ago.
And we are coming on the air tonight with breaking information about a second arrest in connection to that deadly school shooting in Georgia. 54-year-old Colin Gray, the suspected school shooter's father, has now been charged with 14 counts, including second-degree murder and manslaughter. And there are still a lot of questions swirling over whether that shooting could have been prevented after the FBI has revealed that the 14-year-old suspected shooter first came onto their radar last year for making threats online. We go now to Georgia, where a press conference from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is about to start. Turning now to what officials are saying.
The shooting here at Appalachia High School. Colin is Colt Gray's father that was arrested yesterday. He is charged with the following: 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children. Mr. Gray, these charges stem from Mr. Gray knowingly allowing his son to possess a weapon. This is a very difficult time, as we know, for students and parents, and so many, I know, of students and parents here in this county and around this state are afraid. You all have likely seen reports of incidents of other students making threats today at various schools around our state. In each of these incidents, police, law enforcement took charges, they made arrests, acted very swiftly, as we take incidents like this very seriously across this state.
What about the dad?
This is a time for all of us as a community and a state to come together and remain vigilant. Students must be supported and encouraged here in this community and across the state to contact a member of their school faculty with any and all concerns of suspicious activity that they may see. Local, state, and federal law enforcement will continue to work together around the clock in relation to this incident here and any other incidents that come up around this state that raise concern to the safety of our students, faculty, and citizens here in the state of Georgia. Additionally, Colt Gray, that was arrested yesterday for this incident, has now been charged with 4 counts of felony murder. And again, we will continue to work tirelessly to complete this investigation as we move forward. I will go ahead and mention to you, and as I say sometimes, I'm going to go ahead and apologize to you. As y'all all know, that this is a murder investigation. It is a very serious investigation, one that we take serious, one that we will continue to diligently work on and be very thorough with it, with the GBI in our local.
Tell me about a boar biting a kid's dick. Like, just get me completely off track. Wild boars terrorizing tiny Italian island face cull after boy's genitals bitten. Beach-dwelling swine of Spargi off Sardinia subject of bitter row between authorities and environmentalists. Mr. Boar, you can't just go around biting kids in the dick. I've got fucking every ad block in the world on. How the fuck can I not read the story? Boo. Can't just go around biting kids in the dick. Anyway.
Partners here. So you'll have to forgive us if we don't answer a lot of the questions that you ask. I know you have many, and we wish we could answer many of them for you, but we still obviously want to maintain the integrity of this investigation because it has a long way to go for it to be finished. Again, I also want to remind everyone that we need to continue to pray and support the victims that were involved here, the school teachers, the faculty, the students, obviously those that lost their lives, their families, and those that were injured. So I'd like to call on.
I gotta get that off the screen. Somebody can clip that with him talking about like these families being in horror. I'm over here laughing so hard I'm crying over a wild boar biting an Italian kid's dick. And that's horrible in and of itself. I should be laughing about the kid's dick getting bitten by a boar. I saw a dude get his arm bit by an alligator, and I hate it when there's just those little clips you don't find out what happened. Like I wanted to see him pull the nub back. Yes, why did the kid have his dick out? Well, his dick might not have been out. The boar might have just jumped and got him right in the crotch. It was only bitten, not bitten off. The circle of life. Fuck. Yeah, probably didn't even need to jump. They're pretty big, and depending on how big how large the boy was, how tall he was, not his junk. Get your fucking minds out of the gutter. I never even thought about it that way, Dustin. Yeah, intelligent design. Our crotch is right at animals' fucking eye level. Soft, meaty portion of the body. I bet fucking we consider testicles a delicacy. So I would assume animals would think getting them a big bite of balls is a fantastic meal. Fucking fuck. What's wrong with you people? It used to make people eat testicles. He grips in a different kind of way now. Here is some eyewitness testimony from one of the students at the school. Apparently, the shooter left the classroom and then came back.
I saw him at the door, and students went to go open the door because nobody knew like what was happening. Nobody knew that he was dangerous. And I saw him go back. Like I saw students go back to open the door for him, and they backed away. I'm guessing they saw something, but for some reason they didn't open the door. And I can just see him kind of turn to the side, like what would have been my right, and you just hear gunshots. It was about 10 to 15 of them at once, back to back, and then everyone just kind of ducks to the floor, and we all kind of sporadically crawl. We don't really know which corner to go to.
Girl, you're amazingly calm.
In front of like everybody that's against the wall, telling people like move desks in front of you, get low, and then we just kind of wait for the call. I mean, I don't know him. I rarely spoke to him. He doesn't really speak. When he is there in school and he's not skipping, he doesn't talk. So I don't really know him.
I guess desensitized to it, because like fuck. Yeah, if you've grown up, if you're in school currently, you've grown up not knowing anything other than school fucking shooter drills. Stories day after day. It's just another day. I don't think there's merit to arming teachers, because most teachers too much of a responsibility, and they're not the type of people that would usually not the type of people that would be armed or know how to handle firearms. Like fucking, like you don't want an English teacher having a gun, because they ain't gonna know what to do with it. You don't want the theater teacher to have a gun. Yeah, that's also just statistics. The guns are more likely to be used against you, for you to use it yourself. Introducing more guns is not, is not a solution to the problem of guns. My advice, much better. Everyone having health care would go a long way. There's a manhunt going on in New York City. Shooting that took place at a Brooklyn subway station. Abattoir, good evening.
Police are looking for the person who fatally shot a 47-year-old father of 3 at a subway station in Brooklyn.
It happened last night in the Ocean Hill section. Lisa Rosner spoke exclusively with the victim's family, who was distraught over who would do something like this.
The Rockaway Avenue subway station eerily quiet after police say 47-year-old Freddie Weston was fatally shot in the head in the mezzanine. Ballistic evidence was found, but the shooter is still at large. Weston's brother says he was en route to work when it happened around 11:15 p.m. He spoke exclusively.
How does a dude shoot someone in the mezzanine of a subway and get away? Did you just blend in? There weren't cops anywhere near the area. There were no security guards. How the fuck? But it's New York City, and we know that the cops are corrupt. And they're probably doing other shit.
Freddie Weston was fatally
somebody out for selling Lucy's.
Mezzanine. Ballistic evidence was found, but the shooter is still at large. Weston's brother says he was en route to work when it happened around 11:15 p.m. He spoke exclusively with us, but asked we not show his face.
My brother wasn't a street person. He's not a threat. And for you to shoot him in the head, that's a lot of anger. And he always had the biggest heart. Like, if you talk to him, he always smiling.
This is video of Weston hyping up the crowd at a recent Mets-Yankees game. Weston's niece says his nickname was Junior.
He got along with everybody, but the way this went down, I can't even believe it. He was my guy.
Weston's niece says he leaves behind a very large family that loved him. He was the youngest of 7 siblings.
Junior did not deserve this. He did not deserve this.
Police sources say an MTA station worker heard the shot but did not see the shooter or witness any kind of dispute. Sources add there are no cameras in the mezzanine where Weston was shot. The MTA says it's working with the NYPD.
How are there no cameras?
Over half of our cars have cameras. So I think the reality is that we will find the NYPD will find the individual.
Detectives are searching for video above ground to see if the suspect was captured fleeing the station. NYPD stats show this is the 8th murder in the transit system so far this year compared to 5 during the same period last year. Overall, transit crime is down more than 5%. In Ocean Hill, Lisa Rosner, CBS News, New York.
NYPD sources tell us Weston was arrested 8 times, most recently in 2021 for weapon possession.
What does that matter?
In 2013, he did not serve jail time.
You did not have to go over the dude's criminal record. That was bullshit. Absolute nonsense. Keep it in New York. We'll go to Long Island, where a woman found in a suitcase has been identified.
On Long Island, police have released the identity of a woman whose body was found in a suitcase earlier this week. The remains of 31-year-old Ckers Jones were found in that suitcase in a wooded area on Tuesday. News 4's Greg Sergel is live in Huntington Station with the latest for us. Greg?
And Gilma, once police identified that body in a suitcase, those who knew the woman began stopping here along this busy Huntington Station street with memories and a lot of questions about a life that ended in mysterious circumstances. Mary Waldron stopped today near this wooded area in Huntington Station, the spot where her longtime friend's body was found on Tuesday.
We called her Kia, and she was a really sweet girl. She's always smiling, you know, she was always happy.
Suffolk police say 31-year-old Ckers Jones was homeless, a young woman her friends said had struggled in life.
Exactly, Avalon.
you know, and it kind of, she changed and she was kind of out in the streets, but we all kept tabs on her, you know, always making sure she was still good.
Jones was reported missing last month. Not the first time that's happened, her friend said. Today, however, police confirmed Jones' remains had been stuffed in a suitcase and left outside the Huntington Station apartment building.
This is just, it's disgusting, you know, and she's from this town. It's like, this is her home. It's unbelievable, you know.
How Jones died, police say, has yet to be determined. But residents of the apartment building showed us this doorbell video of a woman, two people identified as Jones, inside that apartment building last week with an unidentified man.
It was her coming up here with him Friday night, walking up the stairs together.
Police have yet to say if any of this is connected to Jones' death. Today, someone left a rock near where Jones' remains were found. It reads, "Hope is being able to see light despite the darkness."
She just loved life. She was always so happy. She didn't deserve to go out like this.
Sakia Jones' family were among those who
read her criminal record too.
Comment. Again, Suffolk police have said little today beyond identifying Jones' body. Again, the medical examiner is still trying to determine exactly how she died. We're in Huntington Station. Greg Sergel, News 4 New York.
Oh, no, come on, tell us she was arrested for driving on a suspended license when she was 19 or something. You know you wanted to. Watching on Twitch, we're going to go ahead and hit you with a commercial break. We'll get it out of the way. Come back, we've still got some wild fucking stories to cover. Got another manhunt. It's already ended, but it was a crazy story. We got a 16-year-old that jumped in front of a gun to save a young girl. Wild video of a crash in San Diego. A thief drugged the family dog in order to pull off his robbery. But here's the thing, is I don't think the dog would have done much. And a python crushes a grandmother. All that and a lot freaking more on the other side of the break here at the Troll Patrol. Live. Python crushed a grandmother. What you gonna do when the that's what I was thinking. Mary Jane. They're not losers, Thread. If that $5 means something to your children, or it's a fucking meal for you, like during the week, God damn it, like I don't fucking spend on my goddamn stream. I have more than enough talent to fucking make the money I need without fucking streaming. Oh, I know you're kidding, Thread. I love you. I'm just busting your balls. Or your cooter. I don't know. I'm just assuming by the avatar that you are indeed a male. But I don't know that to be a fact, and I don't want to misgender you. I'd kick you right in the cooter. What is wrong with me? Right in the cooter. Red in here bragging about the size of his dong. Interesting that you didn't get any ads. Always nice to have extra dong. If I had the power of invisibility, what would I do with it? Nothing good. Nothing that fundamentally harmed anybody, but nothing good. No, I don't want to. Throw a shoe at George. How would invisibility help that? How would that aid me in that? Wait a minute, I'm invisible. What was I was thinking X-ray vision. Okay, I'm invisible. Jesus, what would a Well, okay. See, this is no, I can't do it. If I say this, I like no one has. I was getting ready to say people would lose respect for me, but nobody has any respect for me. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't look at me. But I don't want to do it. I don't want to say it. Stop it. Yeah, well, I'm like really into amateur porn, so like if you're invisible, you just like go like be a cuck in people's bedrooms and shit. It doesn't get any better than that. Oh yeah, I need to get high. Nobody has any respect for me, don't lie. Honey, what's that noise? Is somebody whacking it over in the corner? Totally watched you cuck your boyfriend. Oh yeah, that's totally like I'm into group stuff. Real amateur porn. Yeah, totally. Like I would totally be into watching you cuck your boyfriend. Yep. I would totally be into watching him watch you fuck other people. And like I get off on other people getting off. So like if he's getting off on getting cucked, that would totally like make me happy. And if you're getting off on getting fucked, fucking A, it's a lot of fun. Fun all the way around is what that sounds like. Maybe would you let me slap a titty?
A titty slap! What the? Come on
now. Well, Soup. Maybe. Maybe. We got news to be doing, goddammit. It's all wild too. We got a man. He was apparently in a chase, and he was caught and taken to the hospital, and then he escaped police custody.
To the Inland Empire now, where the CHP, they say they've captured a driver who escaped from a hospital after a deadly crash.
Mario Ramirez is live in Fontana with the story. Mario.
Sandra Brook, the CHP, says it continues to review the details, still trying to figure out exactly how this guy managed to escape from the hospital while in police custody following a deadly pursuit here in Fontana. Take a look, video showing his arrest the second time he was taken into custody. This was just after midnight. CHP officials say he was found hiding out in an abandoned golf course on North Pepper Avenue near the hospital he was taken to while in police custody. This was around 12:30. The suspect, now identified as 32-year-old Noe Armando Banuelos of Long Beach. Investigators say it was around 7 o'clock last night while being transferred from the Arrowhead Regional Medical Center to the jail. He escaped from CHP custody, sparking an intense manhunt with help from the Colton and Rialto police departments. Now, let's show you the next piece of video, because during the pursuit with CHP officers, authorities say Banuelos slammed into another vehicle. You can see that mangled Mustang at the intersection of Cherry and Beach Avenues. That crash, unfortunately, killed the innocent driver in the Mustang.
That's what I was thinking.
Tried to make a run from that crash site before he was taken into CHP custody for the first time with injuries.
After all of that process was completed, the suspect was being prepared for transportation to a local jail. At some point,
Curiouser and curiouser added permitted term water sports. I want everyone to think of every term that they can think of that they want to use, so we can go ahead and get it permitted by the auto ban. Just hit everything you can think of. Hit me with the worst words in chat. But like not slurs. Oh no. And like do some creative ones. Cum bucket. Try cum bucket. Gay Mafia. Why wouldn't Gay Mafia be around? Cum bucket is allowed. '90s? Why would '90s be? Oh yeah, it's not gonna auto mod me. That's right. I can say cum bucket. Somebody else type cum Ohio. Oh yes. How can we make a ban? Cum bucket was not allowed. It needed to be permitted. See, keep going. Come on. Give me all you got. If somebody wants to be able to use the term cum bucket, cum stain. Cum biscuit was already allowed. Cum bucket? That what was not allowed? Oh man, I would love to. Yes. I want a word clear. How was slut already not permitted? Butt chugging absolutely permitted. We got cum slut already approved. Goat raping, horsing. Flash is fucking with me now. Steak wiener. Skunk guzzling. Why would goat rapists be allowed? Twitch, like what the fuck? Of all the things. That's what I'm saying. Okay. You want to get it out of your system the rest of the night. Just get like as many fucking words as you can. Everybody be on the lookout. Purgatory. What's up, my friend? What that news be doing indeed. Oh. We're currently that's not cool. I don't know if you should get away with that one. Ram Ranch. Centaurum. Cunty. I was watching Silicon Valley. They hired the woman coder, and she comes in. She's like, "So can I bring in my friend Cunty? And I can call her Cunty?" All right. For the rest of the night, try to get it out as many words as you can. Oh yeah, twat waffle. Okay, oh, wait a minute. You guys are mods. You can't, it won't auto mod you because you're mods. You, like, twat waffle may not be allowed. Yeah, that's what I was trying to, yeah. Yep. And Twitch thanks me for my feedback. Here, Mary Jane, you want me to unmod you? You can. You have been relieved of your sword if that is what you truly want. Or no more ACAB for you. All right, crazy ass story. Dude was in a chase, gets in a wreck. You'll get your sword back. Less swords, not more swords.
CHP, they say they've captured a driver who escaped from a hospital after a deadly crash.
Mario Ramirez is live in Fontana with the story. Mario.
Sandra Brook, the CHP, says it continues to review the details, still trying to figure out exactly how this guy managed to escape from the hospital while in police custody following a deadly pursuit here in Fontana. Take a look, video showing his arrest.
Pull this car over.
Time he was taken into custody. This was just after midnight. CHP officials say he was found hiding out in an abandoned golf course on North Pepper Avenue near the hospital he was taken to while in police custody. This was around 12:30. The suspect, now identified as 32-year-old Noe Armando Banuelos of Long Beach. Investigators say it was around 7 o'clock last night while being transferred from the Arrowhead Regional Medical Center to the jail. He escaped from CHP custody, sparking an intense manhunt with help from the Colton
We didn't finish it.
police departments. Now, let's show you the next piece of video, because during the pursuit with CHP officers, authorities say Banuelos slammed into another vehicle. You can see that mangled Mustang at the intersection of Cherry and Beach Avenues. That crash, unfortunately, killed the innocent driver in the Mustang. Banuelos, police say, tried to make a run from that crash site before he was taken into CHP custody for the first time with injuries.
Damn, did you see how far it knocked that car over? So if he hit him over here and the car went all the way over to that fence, god damn.
Custody for the first time with injuries.
After all of that process was completed, the suspect was being prepared for transportation to a local jail at some point, which we're still reviewing the circumstances. The suspect escaped.
The suspect reportedly escaped from the hospital after simply walking out, last seen wearing the hospital clothing he was arrested in. Police say he was first pulled over for speeding on the 15 freeway before making it into Fontana, and it was later discovered he had a federal arrest warrant. Now, coming back out here live, as for that innocent driver killed at this Fontana intersection following the pursuit, their name has yet to be released. We're still waiting for that information from the San Bernardino County Coroner's Office. For now, live in Fontana, I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
All right, Mario, thank you.
That's what we do here. This is the most absurd news, politics, and current events on the internet. Skrillex should be a slur towards EDM. I'll agree. I'm not even a electronic music. I won't say that I'm not a fan. I like some electronic music, but I don't get deep into it the way like a lot of people do with the electronic music. I once asked the girl not to come back for a second date because she did nothing but talk about EDM and trance music the entire time. Like, I have no idea the people you're talking about. Let me talk. I'm a good talker. Anyway, I tried to tell her, I was like, no, you were just excited and everything. I know, like, you know, please don't take it personal. I still want to be your friend. And she took it personal. We friends now, though. It's cool. It's cool. A 16-year-old boy jumped in front of a bullet in order to save a girl.
This next story is all new.
That's how you get pussy.
About a very brave teenager who took a bullet to save a stranger. This right here is 16-year-old Chase Lancaster. Last month, he was at a party with a few friends in Frederick County, Maryland, when someone started shooting. Well, Chase immediately jumped into the line of fire, shielding another girl. He survived and is now facing a long road to recovery. Tonight, our Leslie Moreno spoke to the team about this heroic moment.
Tonight, 16-year-old Chase Lancaster, an honor student and football player, still in the hospital fighting for his life.
They didn't think he would survive 2 surgeries, and he survived 14 thus far.
On August 9th, Chase was at a party with friends at a clubhouse in the 3300 block of Galena Drive when shots rang out. His father, Alex Lancaster, says at some point during the shooting, Chase shielded a girl from gunfire, saving her life, but almost taking his.
The bullet came in through the back side of his upper chest area, hit his right kidney, completely destroyed his kidney. It also bruised and injured his liver.
Tonight, the Frederick County Sheriff's Office tells us Chase was not the intended target. WUSA 9 spoke to the family of the 17-year-old girl that walked out unharmed. They provided the following statement. Chase grabbed my daughter and pulled her behind before they ran inside. Chase saved my daughter from being the one that was shot. His family has been so kind to my daughter. We pray every day that Chase makes it through this terrible ordeal. No kid should have to live through what he has had to endure. We hope that the shooter is brought to justice.
So to see him in bed, even though he saved that young lady's life, still breaks my heart to see him in so much pain.
Tonight, the shooter remains free and Chase still in the intensive care unit with a long recovery ahead. He's lost over 100 units of blood. His father says he'll have to learn to walk and talk again, but there's a silver lining.
He's not a victim, he's a hero. And so
he is a fucking hero.
For the young man he's growing into. I'm so thankful for the courageous act he performed, and my heart is still broken for all of his injuries.
The family has also set up a GoFundMe page to help with hospital expenses. A portion of those donations will go towards a reward for any information leading to an arrest. If you'd like to make an impact, you can head to WUSA9.com. In Frederick County, Les Moreno, WUSA 9.
Yeah, what she said, go to that website. That is actually a cause I will tell you to give to. I'd rather see you give to that fucking young man's medical bills than to sub to my channel. And that's the reason why I will continue to just barely get by in life. Don't give me money. Give it to some poor kid that got shot in Maryland. Let's watch this fucking wild-ass car crash in San Diego, because we apparently have video of it. Freeway crash. Frightening freeway crash caught on camera.
Shocking new video.
I've got excellent shirts, Mary Jane. If you do want to support me, I try to give you bang for your buck. There is content on the Patreon. I'm trying to get I need to get on Fourth Wall. It is like more productive and shit. But the link for the spread shirt or whatever, the Teespring, whatever the fuck I'm using, is down below. It's a fucking bitch to change everything over. But I know like he's done really well and made a lot more money, so I should really do it. Worst thing you can do to someone you love is give a child a drum kit. I don't like children. I'm never around them. I wouldn't think you want to give them anything that makes noise. It's like Teespring or Spreadshirt or whatever the fuck, but like it's really well integrated into Twitch. Like it does like giveaways and shit like that, and like it keeps merch in people's awareness and stuff, so you sell a lot more shit. Because I do. I have really good... PVR, good evening. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. Did you fucking follow? Hit the follow button. Become a freaking follower, my friend. Are you sure you don't want to watch this wild ass fucking crash?
Shows a wild crash in San Diego now being investigated by the CHP. It shows a driver of a Subaru veering across all lanes of traffic, then crashing into
King Burrito.
Before this crash, the video shows the driver acting erratically, even driving onto an embankment.
Jesus!
3 people were hospitalized. DUI is not suspected in the crash.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC.
Thank you, Mark Brown.
By clicking the subscribe.
I am subscribed to ABC7 just specifically because I really like you, Mark Brown. Fuck, this video is wild.
The video shows a wild crash in San Diego now being investigated by the CHP. It shows a driver of a Subaru veering across all lanes of traffic, crashing into an SUV. Before this crash, the video shows the driver acting erratically, even driving onto an embankment. 3 people were hospitalized.
They're texting and driving. The entire time, not even paying attention to what's going on. Motherfucker.
It shows a wild crash in San Diego now being investigated by the CHP. It shows a driver of a Subaru veering across all lanes of traffic, then crashing into an SUV. Before this crash, the video shows the driver acting erratically, even driving onto an embankment. 3 people were hospitalized. DUI is not suspected in the crash.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
It matter, is that a example of genuine clowning? Is that what you call that? I think it's fucking reckless endangerment, but you call it clowning. So, robbers drugged this puppy in order to rob the house. But here's the thing, is I don't think that puppy is stopping anybody from robbing a house. Now, you might want to drug it to so it doesn't yap and wake the owners up, but I don't think
Fernando Valley, a woman in Sherman Oaks, says burglars gained access to her home after drugging her dog. She's one of several neighbors.
Her scary dog.
Recently been burglarized, and they all report seeing a suspicious red car cruising the neighborhood. KTLA's John Finolio reports from Sherman Oaks with a story you'll see only on 5.
I love that the owner's like, yes, if that my dog hadn't been drugged. He's cute.
Danielle Town says this is how her beloved French Bulldog usually responds when someone approaches her house. But last Thursday evening...
Okay, he's bigger than what I thought.
Pretty sure he was drugged.
He's chunky.
Took him to the vet. That said they also thought he was drugged.
She says when she got home around 7, her pup was disoriented, wobbling, and in distress.
Oh. It was probably my hardest thing to deal with that night because I wasn't sure if it was something that could be life-threatening.
Then she quickly realized she'd been burglarized.
I looked in our bedroom and it was completely torn apart.
Town believes this guy is the suspect and this red SUV circling the neighborhood is the getaway car. With what appears to be a white satchel over his shoulder, he hops in the car moments before the
family. Yeah, leave the doggo alone.
On the 5,000 block of Ranchito Avenue.
This was like pulled open, which is weird because this was locked.
All of Town's jewelry and family heirlooms like her mother's wedding band and her grandmother's Rolex gone.
Damn.
The sliding door to her bedroom had been pried open. Town says she, her husband, and their baby boy had been out for just a couple of hours and had forgotten to activate their alarm system when the break-in happened. Police have not confirmed if this is the suspect. But after posting the video on Nextdoor, Town says several neighbors came forward describing how their homes were recently burglarized, and that they'd seen a similar suspect and red car cruising the neighborhood. Michael lives down the street. His home was also
it's a pawn shop. It's worth fucking
climbed in.
What, $20?
And shattered it.
So you were home.
I was home. Could have been a really bad situation had I walked out.
Last month, the LAPD announced what they claim
$20
significant arrests in a string of San Fernando Valley burglaries, a crime wave that has left Valley home and business
It's a wedding band, so like I'm sure pawn shops get people coming in there for wedding bands and shit. They can sell those for $75, $80, $100, $150 nowadays. People looking for a good fucking deal, or if not fucking more. So I can imagine they give you $20.
Business owners scared and frustrated.
We've got to get serious about criminals being put into jail for doing things. Doesn't matter. They find out, oh, well, it's under $900. I'll be fine.
Oh, this Fox News watching motherfucker.
Statements, but we need to do something. There needs to be some kind of repercussions. And I don't, it's really hard. I just want to see everyone safe.
Fortunately, the family dog is okay tonight. Anyone with information about these crimes is urged to contact the LAPD Van Nuys Division. In Sherman Oaks, I'm John Fenolio, KTLA 5 News.
You do something about there's always going to be like a certain amount of crime, but you could fix a lot of crime by giving everyone access to health care, access to education, by lowering the wealth disparity. So there's easy, good-paying jobs. You go to fucking work at some shitty ass fucking job, and you get shit on by your boss. You make fucking shit ass pay. It's easy to see how you might turn to crime. Better hit the content warning. A 16-foot python crushed a grandmother to death. The local mob binged her. See a picture of a 16-foot python. This dude just got his head looking at him. Look at this motherfucker. He's not even touching it. He had nothing to do with grabbing the snake. He just came in and put his thumb up. An Indonesian grandmother has met a tragic end after being crushed to death by a 16-foot python that tried to swallow her whole. According to reports, the woman, 57-year-old Hapsa, was attacked by the serpent last week while doing routine work on a plantation where she was trapped under rubber trees in Muaro Jambi, a province of Sumatra. Holy fuck, look at this thing. Hapsa reportedly tried to fight off the snake as it wrapped itself around her body, but the python overpowered her, squeezing her unconscious from a lack of oxygen. I don't think this is the python.
Kepalanya pegang bang, ada apa bang?
They're trying to get it out of its fucking hole. They're out for blood. Maybe that is the snake. Ooh.
Sambung biar berapa meter? Sambung, iya berapa meter? Kakak bang keluar sambung. Bawa nih yuk.
Okay, I have mixed feelings about this, because on the one hand, can you really hold a snake against a snake for doing what a snake does? Like, it's not the snake's fault that it fucking crushed a grandmother to death. Like, it's just fucking doing what a snake does. You can't blame a snake for being a snake. I don't know. They had to like flush it out of its hole. I guess it is its fault. But like, that's just the nature of the snake. Fair enough, they probably did cook that snake. Is Python good? It probably doesn't have a lot of meat on it because it didn't get to eat that grandmother.
Alhamdulillah dapat.
If you wanted to eat the snake later, you should let it eat the grandmother so it gets all nice and fat. But then doesn't it take like months to digest or some shit? God damn, look at that thing's head. Fucking fuck. Oh, hold on. The woman's husband, M. Safari, who also worked on the plantation, realized something was wrong when she didn't come home in the afternoon. He began searching for his wife, only to find the snake still wrapped around Hapsa's neck. Per Sungai Galem police chief, to prevent the snake from consuming his wife, M. Safari pulled on the snake's tail and hit it until eventually it loosened its grip. The incident left the whole community shaken as a mob of enraged locals soon formed who hunted down the python and beat it to death. Village head Amdi added it was massive. It was taken to the village to be shown to the community after it was killed. Hapsa's body has since been returned home and is being prepared for a funeral. This isn't the first fatal python attack in Indonesia this summer. Days before Hapsa's passing, another elderly woman from Palapolo City, Palapolo. See, for years I did the news and I had to be completely serious when I did it. I couldn't just stop in the middle of it and go plop. Fuck. Another elderly woman from I can't do it now. Palapolo City was attacked and killed by a serpent in the Semerimambu Mountains. Now, see, if I was really doing the news, if I was really doing the news, I would have read this ahead of time. I would have looked up those words and found out how to pronounce them. I'm getting excited. Maybe I need to. Like a turducken, but me moth-on. That's just a baby reticulating python. That's just a baby? That's just a baby? I don't know why they had to go like... I guess the dude in a panic, it was just him. And he beat the snake off of her, and that's how they were able to save her body. We weren't able to save her. She died. She dead now. Hopefully this dude's not dead. That maybe I should have just made that your animal video for the night. Was that cuddly enough for you? We should just leave it there. I gotta find out what happened to this dude. 99-degree heat. Firefighters trying to rescue a worker.
Back to our breaking news. We are following a trench rescue of a construction worker buried at one point up to his neck. Assignment manager Mark Liu live at the desk with the details. And Mark, they are continuously trying to get him out. It looks like inch by inch at this point.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Amy. This rescue now in its second hour here in a neighborhood of Los Feliz, near Los Feliz in Vermont. This is sort of underneath the Griffith Observatory. Right there at the center of your screen, you can see down at the bottom of that 8-foot trench is a construction worker who has been trapped there since about 10:45 this morning. When LA City firefighters arrived, they found him, as you said, buried up to his neck and shoulders, unable to move. They were providing him with an oxygen mask because he was even having trouble breathing. Now things are looking much better after nearly 2 hours of continuous work by more than 45 firefighters to both shore up the walls of that trench to make sure they don't collapse, and then the work involved with digging and clearing away the sand around that construction worker's body, placing a harness around him, and you can see with SkyCal they may be getting ready to pull him out shortly. Now, we've been listening on the radio. They have been working feverishly to try and get this man out. The good news is you can see him there. He is moving under his own power. He is conscious, alert, and talking to firefighters. He can see
the dude in the orange,
the upper portion of his body, Amy, but it appears that his legs and his waist are still stuck in the soil down there. Now, as we said, it's about an 8-foot trench. That's the estimation.
Wow.
City Fire Command about how deep this is, but it's really unclear how far down that man was trapped when they originally found him. But they are using a hydraulic press in order to keep those walls stable. There's multiple shovel teams that were down there that were freeing the soil around him. And now we're seeing more wood coming in. This could either be used to shore up more of the trench or perhaps be used as leverage in order to get him out. There is a pulley system in place that they have. This worker has a strap underneath his armpits and around his chest. And when they're able to free his legs, Amy, we expect to see him get pulled up by that pulley and put onto a backboard that is waiting just over to the right in order to get him treatment in an LA City Fire ambulance.
And this is such an intricate rescue, Mark. We've been watching it for quite some time, and it seems like they're going slow, but this is exactly what they have to do to keep this man safe.
Help pull him apart at the torso.
On him. They are working together as a team. We know that it is hot out there. There is another team standing by should any of these firefighters need a little relief because of the extreme heat out there. At
least he's in the shade.
And looks like they're even pulling out measuring tape, just making sure that they have the right distance there. But it just is another sign of just how intricate this job is for them to make sure everything is lined up just right so that they do not have more sand collapsing on this man and trapping him further.
Yeah,
we got firefighters doing this.
Sure, the primary concern is that this trench does not collapse any further. That would endanger everyone, including the firefighters around this operation. And Amy, I'll tell you, Paul Diano just came out of the Weather Center and gave me a hand signal. The other thing that is complicating matters down there is that
who else you gonna get to do it?
Is now passing 103. These firefighters have been working with shovels and hydraulic ladders and other equipment for the better part of 2 hours straight in 103-degree weather with their full fire gear on. I did hear the battalion commander, as we had talked about earlier on the radio, saying, let's make sure we have a secondary team on the outskirts of this operation in the shade, being hydrated.
I'm assuming this is like quicksand he fell into.
Relieve the primary team when any of the firefighters here get tired or appear to
be
any sort of the effects of any heat exhaustion. They don't want to have any problems with that here. This is just an extremely hot environment to be conducting this operation. There's really no shade here, and it's at a construction site, so it's dusty and it's dirty, and there's a lot of concrete. But, Amy, we can see...
Yeah, say he's in the shade, but I think they put up the shade.
As this victim has been all morning, he looks very close to being freed, so hopefully this operation is going to come to a conclusion in the next few minutes.
And, Mark, you were talking about the heat. We watched as that one firefighter was drinking a bottle of water there. They are certainly trying to stay hydrated as they deal with the intense heat. We're having a little bit of a signal issue here.
Yeah, it was a trench.
But again, SkyCal Cal over the scene in Los Feliz. This is a very delicate operation. These firefighters, there was a huge team of them all working together to free this construction worker who is...
I think I have the final moments here. He was in for 6 hours. 6 hours is how long it took to free him in total.
Los Feliz, where firefighters just rescued a worker stuck in a trench for hours. This is a live look from Sky 5.
Now, those emergency crews arrived there in the 2300 block of North Catalina Street about 10:50 this morning to rescue this man. Officials say he was trapped in an 8-foot deep trench, stuck in soil that was up to his waist. Authorities say that the man remained alert, though. He was conscious the entire time. But again, 6 hours later, he has just been freed and taken to a...
I don't know that I could go to sleep while I'm waist deep in a fucking trench. He was conscious the whole time. Ludicrous. Fair enough, Holiday. Fair enough. World's heaviest weighted blanket. Ludacris brings out big arms for first pitch at Atlanta Braves game. Quite literally throwing it back to his 2004 Get Back video. Don't know why we don't have sound. Probably because of the MLB. Move, pitch, get out the way. Wow. It was from a video. He had gigantic arms. He would do this in concert as well. Bagheera. Welcome in, my friend. We were just talking about you earlier. Somebody mentioned that we should make you a mod here in the chat. We like you that much. Three-time Grammy Award-winning rapper and actor. He actually did really good for throwing it from an oversized hand. It was a pretty good job of getting it. It wasn't a strike, but he got it to the plate. Because if you're not familiar, when they bring in these celebrities to throw out the first pitch, a lot of them don't do all that good. A lot of them can't even make it to the plate. Are they gigantic Yeezys? They look very oversized. All right, you're going to get an ad break if you're on Twitch. I expected the Donald Trump thing to go longer than what it did. So I haven't prepared anything, but we're not going to leave just yet. You're going to have to eat an ad beforehand. Maybe. I don't know. It's not even saying it's playing an ad this time. What's that ad be doing on the subject of Luda? I have no idea about, maybe he and Paul Walker didn't. I don't know anything about the Fast and Furious movies. And I'm not that big of a fan of Ludacris. And I was talking about fucking Southern rap with a friend the other day. And she was a little upset about like me not showing love to Southern rap. And I'm like, I guess it's so we can put up with Ludacris and Little John. because it gave us Big Boy and trap music. Media Wins, good evening. Now it's saying ads are playing. How are you, darling? Oh, hell yeah, Killer Mike. But I wouldn't know where Killer Mike was from, right? Because fucking, it's not like he makes it a big part of his music and shit. Not the biggest Nappy Roots fan. You're taking over. Is it just you tonight? I was thinking of jumping on for Fire by Night tonight. I got a bit of an itch if I don't fall asleep beforehand. If it's just you and I'm definitely gonna do it. 'Cause fuck Dave. Is that what you mean by taking over? Nah, I love Dave. Everybody knows this. Oh, Lil Wayne. I'm also a big fan of Lil Wayne. You want to co-host? Should I stay on until then and raid into you? Is that another good hour and a half? I was expecting... Yay, Avalon's back. Who died today? Did I miss something? Oh no, I was thinking about saying bye to YouTube and listening to music. So I was gonna let the chat, we can do more news, but I'm not prepared. Oh yes, I did see that about Rich Boy Quan. But I didn't know him, so it didn't Rich Homie Quan, that's it. No, I pigged the fuck out right before. I had a gigantic Stouffer's lasagna right before I came on. So I'm good to go. Yeah, that's what I had fucking. I'll order groceries tomorrow when I get paid and shit, but I had $8 to my fucking name. And I've pretty much eaten everything in the house. But I've ate well. It's not like I was scraping or anything, but I was I need something to eat today. I can't just eat baked potato. I don't want to just have baked potato. So I walked over to the DG and I'm at the fucking case, and I'm God damn, what am I gonna none of this shit sounding good, because I don't eat processed foods. And then I see that Stouffer's lasagna, and I'm you can't go fucking wrong with a Stouffer's lasagna. And it was the Big Boy. You can't go wrong with a Stouffer's lasagna. They're fucking excellent. I worked at a Marriott. They made everything from scratch except their lasagna. Do you know what they use for their lasagna? Stouffer's lasagna. Because it's fucking good. It's they couldn't make a lasagna that was time efficient, that was better than what they could do for a Stouffer's lasagna. Why do you loathe the Stouffer's lasagna? Of all the shit in that frozen case that I was looking at, Stouffer's lasagna was hands down the best thing I could pick. There was some weird off-brand burritos. There were Red Baron pizzas. I'm in fucking Tennessee. They ain't got no fucking veggie white sauce Stouffer's lasagna. They ain't stocking that at the Tennessee DG. Oh fuck. That's some bougie ass California shit. Maybe they've got it at the Target or at the Trader Joe's. Some upscale some upscale store. I'm at the DG in the fucking ghetto, and Media Winch talking about fucking white sauce vegetables over I don't even live in the ghetto. That just shopping center's ghetto. It's like a fucking high class fucking coffee shop right across from it. But the shopping center is the most. There's a grocery store and it's ghetto as fuck. But the area is nice. It's the weirdest thing. Oh, what do I know? What Media Winch? I gotta give these people an animal video. Get the fuck out of here. They don't want to hear. They don't want to hear about me eating Stouffer's lasagna. Stouffer's, if you would like to sponsor this stream, Stouffer's lasagna, the official lasagna of the Troll Patrol Live, motherfuckers. Get your fucking lasagna from fucking Stouffer's. Found in your fucking frozen food aisle. I don't have any new animal videos. I don't. I'm trying to find one I haven't shown before. I think I've shown this one, but like, hey, like, not everybody's here every night, right? Justing a white sauce lasagna. I would make my own goddamn white sauce lasagna. Oh, it's got fucking music on it. Apparently they're best friends when they come around the other side of the door. We aren't going anywhere. If you're on Twitch, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep you company until Echoplex comes on. And then I'm going to hop on with the Media Winch. Are you set up to have me on, Media Winch? Are you good? Am I just inviting myself on at a time? Okay. I want to make sure everything's okay. So you get Media Winch and the Freak Daddy tonight on Satanic Panic and the Thetans. What we do? We're doing Scientology the first hour. Got something special for the second hour, and then a Fire by Night in the third. Yeah, we're gonna raid to them. I'm gonna keep. They don't come on for another hour and a half. I'm gonna keep you company until Echoplex comes on. You're welcome if you want more kind of newsy content. You're welcome to go hang out. I can even recommend you streamers. But if you want to listen to music and hang out until we get to Echoplex at midnight Eastern time, is 9 o'clock Pacific time. Because I think she's hosting Echoplex tonight. She's taking over Dave's stream. It's not Media Winch rating. Yeah, or it's not Media Winch broadcasting. She's doing the Echoplex content tonight, and I'm gonna join her. I was already going to join. You could tell Dave. I was already planning on joining anyway. I was thinking earlier. I was like, hey, it's a Thursday. I feel like going for a while. I wasn't gonna hop on for the first part. I'm gonna hop on for the first part now that you're doing it. I was gonna skip out on Scientology, but since it's you, Media Winch, look at these motherfuckers. What is their deal? Why does the glass Change their behavior entirely. Also, that's a cute outfit. I like the corgi's little, Yeah, I was just gonna come on for Fire by Night. But since it's you, we're gonna party at the Church of Scientology. If you are watching on YouTube, we're going to say goodbye to you guys. If you're watching on Spotify, or if you're listening on one of the many podcast platforms, we're saying bye to you guys now. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm JustinFREAKIN, and we will see you Sunday night on the Troll Patrol Live. Tuesday is the presidential debate. So prepare thine asses. Goodbye, podcast audience. YouTuber's still here for a second. Goodbye, YouTube audience. The whole one person watching over there. Love you, whoever you are.